Guys, I want to ask you, as business partners and life partners, how does that work for you? Because obviously you're spending a lot of time together. I've spoken to a few, me and my wife, we've worked together in the past and we've got kids together, and sometimes it can be very, very testing because when you're just work, there isn't really any quality personal time. Because you're just, even I find in your personal time, you're just talking property or you're talking about a project or something that you're going to do. How do you guys split the two? And, how do you say, okay, this is our work life, this is our personal life, or does it just become all one life for you two?
I think it can do. I think sometimes, like we're in bed and it's 1 a.m. on a Friday night or something, and one of us turns to the other and says, oh, such and such, and you just have to turn around and go, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's Friday night. We're not talking about this. Like, either talk about something else or roll over and go to sleep. So it's difficult. And I think if you just drained or you think it should be personal time now or whatever, you just need to speak up and you just need to say that that's what's happening, and the other person shouldn't. Shouldn't. I mean, we don't take judgment of each other if the other person wants to just switch off and needs a break. So yeah, it can be difficult in terms of us actually spending all our time together. Look, we do really enjoy each other's company. We get on really well with each other. It's not that big a problem for us. We took a year out and went travelling together where with just the pair of us, and okay, you might meet people in hostels and things like that, but really it is the two of you together for a year, and we didn't kill each other. We only had one major fight in the entire year, so
yeah, I think it's quite.
We get on well together. And we work well together.
I think a good kind of like, if you are in a long-term relationship and you're thinking about, or if you're in a relationship and you are thinking about having a business together, it is a really good idea to go on a prolonged holiday or prolonged break with each other, just to test the water out with spending a lot of time with each other, because that's what it will become. I think it's a really good tester of a relationship, and then it becoming a business relationship and how you communicate with each other, and kind of in a more of time. I think obviously when in isolation at the moment, but kind of in normal day to day, when we do a lot of kind of we don't tend to see each other during the day, which is got all kind of sometimes, because I'm obviously lecturing and you're obviously at work, so we don't see each other too much. And then we have date nights, which is really nice. So we do try to go out once a week. Definitely, just to take our mind off everything else and focus on being together as a couple. So I think that helps as well, having date nights.
Yeah, I think we definitely improved as we've gone along as well. I think we trod on each other's toes a lot at the beginning, and I think it's really it's really important to really clearly define
your roles,
who's doing what, and we've got very different personalities and skill sets, so it was quite easy for us once we actually said, look, we're just doing jobs twice. It's not even stepping on each other's toes. We're just doing the same things twice, and it's just wasting time. So just clearly defining who's doing what and whose role is what, and therefore if something doesn't get done, you know why it's not being done and it was your responsibility or whatnot.
Yeah, so we started to, I think after a month of being starting Elite Investor Group, we realized we weren't being as productive as we could, and because we have different skill sets. Although we're both architects, we do have different skill sets. We decided to write down the list of who's going to do what task, and then kind of stuck to it from then on. And we timetable ourselves. So we have, for example, Asana or Trello, and we put tasks under each person of like what we should do and what you should do, and kind of keep to it. You run a lot of the social media, especially the Instagram, and I don't have to.
No, that's good stuff. I mean, it's the same for us here. We very much run our life. Some people think it's sad, but we very much run our life with our life by a spreadsheet as well. Like you said, you need to have a date night. We need to have a slot for our children when we're going to do this, because my wife needs to equally plan stuff, work stuff. So I think it's good that you hit on that, because I think especially when you're working from home or you're running your own business, it's very, very easy to get out of routine. And I see people like this and they say to me, James, you work for yourself. why do you have to be up at the crack of dawn? I say, it's, you know, it's still a discipline. It's not that I can stay in bed till 11, 12 o'clock in the day and, you know, watch Netflix all night. It's still a discipline. There's still a list of tasks to do. So it's great that you guys touch on that point where you say you've established your roles and you've actually blocked time out for yourselves, because I think in a relationship, that's extremely important.
I think there's nothing wrong. I think people get scared when they hear that their lives getting run off a routine and a calendar, but I think it's so important. It's not something you should be scared of, because it helps keep that, like you said, keep things disciplined and keep those nicer, kind of more personal moments in the calendar, and doesn't let it become all about work.